Hey there, welcome to another episode of Realty TV. I'm Landon Bellum with the Griffith Home Team at Remax Professionals. Got a really cool episode today, a really special guest, someone who has made a very big impact on my career and my business, especially for the clients, the sellers that I have. So really excited to dive into that. Let's just go ahead and get into it. I have a quick intro for Alex Zamora here. Alex has been, you were a professional FPV drone pilot.
Racing
pilot. So you raced drones, the first person view drones professionally for a while. And then you leveraged that and transitioned that skill set into real estate photography. Is that right?
That's it.
That's kind of the highlight of the episode here. So before we dive into the details and really get into Alex and his background, as always, just wanted to give a quick tease for the Houses of Horrors segment, which I always say for the end. My tease for the Houses of Horrors experience that I had is how I wound up in court after selling a half-built house on 5 acres. So stay tuned to the end for that. And I think Alex has a Houses of Horrors tease.
Yes, I do. For us, it's a kind of more of a cul-de-sac of horrors. We had some neighbors freak out, and it's kind of interesting on how it happened. So
sweet. It's going to be great. Okay, so let's just dive into it, Alex. So drone racer, real estate. Just tell us about, first, tell us about your drone racing background, because that's something incredible.
Yeah, man. So, this all really took off back in 2015. It started, my background comes from racing. I've always been into racing growing up, from dirt bikes to snowmobiles to go-karts. And then I started racing rally cars. So, from the age 16 to 19, my passion was just like rally, and racing Subarus and doing that stuff. And that's why, you had the Subaru, and I'm
remembered that
I remembered
more than I remembered I had a Subaru.
Yeah. And so, I raced rally cars for a long time. And then I met my wife, and we were having our first child. And the race right before that, actually, I crashed in Idaho, and it wasn't too crazy of a crash, but it was enough to say, hey, we should take a break from racing. One, it's expensive and very dangerous. So, I took a break from that, and I needed something for adrenaline.
You had to get something.
I had to find something. No, I started racing rally cars at 17, but ever since I could drive, that was my goal, was to race rally.
Which is wild, because at 16, 17, I mean, that's high school. That's just within a year of having your license.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And most teenagers barely know how to drive the car.
Man. Well, it was crazy because rally's not big in the U.S. It's big overseas, and you could only find it late on TV. Big Marcus Grönholm, Colin McRae, big names that you'll never ever meet or hear of here. Yeah. And I just fell in love with the passion of going fast on dirt, hitting jumps, in a car.
And so you mentioned also dirt. I just want to get the full context.
Yeah,
this is really interesting to me. So before you got into the rally car racing, you were doing dirt bike and snowmobile racing before that.
Yeah.
So younger than 17.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. My dad, growing up, even in high school for him, he did drag racing over here at Bandemere. I mean, one time my father and we put a weed eater motor on a little clown bike, and we were always building and trying to be the fastest in the neighborhood, and I started racing dirt bikes for a little bit and did that for a while. Got really messed up there. I have a scar from here all the way to here, So
don't doubt that.
It's dangerous, but there's something about the adrenaline thrill of it, right? Fast forward into rally racing, it is the most adrenaline. It's insane. You're relying on your co-driver telling you, I don't know if you know rally or not.
I don't know very much.
So, you race in an all-wheel drive car usually. That's what you would prefer. And you have a co-driver that sits next to you with a book that's all letters. It's L4, right 3, or R3, over crest, and there's all these notes. And they're reading you notes to tell you what's ahead of you. So it's point A to point B racing, okay? Yeah. And sometimes it's uphill, sometimes it's downhill, sometimes it's both. Sometimes it's dirt, sometimes it's tarmac, and you don't know where you're going. Yeah. And it's all based off of your co-driver, and you're a team. You're kind of, together. And the co-driver
telling you hey, here's it's basically the map.
It is the map.
I know what's coming up. You need it. Here's the code.
Yeah. And you're on a dirt road. And the whole point of it is because you don't know how aggressive the turn is up front of you, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want to go into a right 2, which is like a hairpin at 100 miles an hour, because you'll just miss the turn, right? So that's why you have a co-driver telling you, hey, right 2, caution, keep in, slow, and they're telling you hey, you gotta.
Is it that fast?
You should hear it. Yeah. It's fast, man. Yeah. It's like left 4, over crest, keep in 100, cattle guard, jump.
Miles an hour at times.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So, that's I fell in love with the thrill of like you don't know, and sometimes it's at night in the rain, and you're just like, dude, it's insane. I miss it. I miss it. I still have the rally car. But.
Okay, so you got really into this.
Yeah,
how long
got into
would
it.
you say you were doing this for? Because you said
a few years, quite a few years, and we were. I don't know if you know the big names: Travis Pastrana, Ken Block, all those guys. I was racing the exact same sanctioned races as them.
Oh,
so
we were. Did you meet them? You were in.
Oh yeah,
side by side.
We're in line with them. Yeah. Wow. So obviously they were in the full production, so they're up ahead. Yeah. But we were in the same Rally America ARA styled race. Absolutely. Yeah. And it was fun, man. It was easy. And I missed it. That's why like quitting cold turkey on it was like, You
got injured.
I did not get injured.
Okay.
We almost crashed. Like flew off a cliff. It was the whole thing. My brakes. So we have a hydraulic e-brake for drifting the turns. Yeah. And I pulled it and it just broke the brake line. And it was like a right 3. So a pretty steep turn. And co-driver says 200. So we have 200 yards to that run. And I'm doing about like 60 probably. Yeah. And my co-driver says, hey, check the brakes. Because when I pulled that e-brake, it kind of like made a popping noise. And he was like, hey, check your brakes, check your brakes. And I do, and they just go straight to the floor. Like just sponged out, straight to the floor. And it's a cliff. We're literally a cliff.
Like
and this is in Idaho.
You die.
Yeah, absolutely. There's crosses all over this course. It's insane. Not from racing, but from just miners and people. And it's Idaho. It's probably one of my favorite races. And so the co-driver's like, check the brakes. I push him straight to the floor. And so I had to like crash it into the cliffside to slow the car down because we were literally hauling ass right to the cliff there, and put it into the side and stopped the car. And it was insane because literally that night, my father and a couple other guys we bring to the race fixed the car completely. We ended up taking 3rd. It was amazing.
Oh, whoa.
But just that experience like really shook me a little bit because I was like, holy smokes, like I was just, if it wasn't for him, I would have flew right off that cliff, and my co-driver Huffy, he's like, Alex, why didn't you check him? I was like,
there's a lot going on, man.
Yeah, and so, and my wife was at that race. And so, and the whole front of the car is wrecked and everything, but we still took 3rd, which was cool. Yeah. But afterwards,
but it shook you.
Yeah, it shook a little. Yeah. And then, a little after that, we're having our first child.
Yep. So, that changed.
And my wife was like, maybe we shouldn't try to die anymore. I'm like, I guess you're right, and save some money. Rally is not cheap. So shifted gears, a little bit and started focusing more on the family life and doing that.
Yeah. How can I transition out of this and still find something that's entertaining and fulfills that need that you have, but is also not.
Exactly. And that was the thing that's like, I wanted to get back into dirt biking or, mountain biking and that kind of stuff. And it was the same thing. Like, I would have to find time to then go do said thing. I'm working all day and, the danger factor, getting older and falls hurt worse. So, took a break from all the things and then FPV happened.
So how'd you get introduced to FPV drones?
It's actually pretty fun. I was up late one night and I'm just on YouTube and this video, I just stumble across this video again, looking for something, right? Figure out my next hobby. Yeah. And I find this video and there's these little 6-inch like LED lights just going through the trees really fast. Yeah. And they're weaving through this dense forest and it's all in Russian and I don't know what's going on. And they're going so fast and like just kind of it's shaky. And I'm like, is that a mountain bike? Like I couldn't figure it out because there's a bunch of them. Then all of a sudden it goes like up into the tree a little bit and then comes down. I'm like, what is this? And this is 2015. Yeah. This is 2015. And so drones are not a thing at this point, right? Like they're very new, very new. And, people that heard about them or seen drones is like, they think just military. Yeah. Like this wasn't a
not
thing.
Consumer available.
My buddy, I'll get into how he became my friend, but at the comment section, people are asking like, what is this? What is this? And I'm like, what is this? And it's all in Russian. No one's really responding. And then all of a sudden this one guy on there, his name is Seal Davis. And him and I started chatting on there a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. And then so we started talking offline and trying to figure out what this was. We figured out it was drones. He comes from RC airplane background and stuff like that. So that's, I think, how he stumbled upon it. And then, this goes all the way back to taking apart baby monitors. We found out like it's FPV. So what we would do back then, early stage, which I had baby monitors, just had a baby. Yep. So you take the baby monitor apart and we're taking the camera out of that and putting that on these homemade built drones that were made out of like balsa wood arms and RC airplane motors. The props were like, 12 inches long. and we would take the monitor part and put them like in goggles
Yeah.
with foam and cover them up so you can only see like the monitor. You can only get like, I don't know, 15 yards, you know, because
Yeah.
it's a baby monitor. So,
Right.
and that's how early FPV started, was flying drones with, and FPV, just so everyone knows, it's first person view.
Yeah.
So that's a first person view. Think about like a video game. You are in the cockpit essentially. So
You're seeing
with the
what
goggles.
the drone is seeing
Yeah.
from the camera.
Exactly. And that's
From
why you need the
eyes.
goggles, so it immerses you like a VR system, right?
Yeah. So you just Jimmy rigged your own
Yeah.
FPV drone
You got it.
thing from a
Uh-huh.
baby monitor.
And they flew like crap,
Wow.
man. Like they shook like wild. I would take off the goggles and like just feel so sick. Like,
Yeah,
I felt
like bird
so
go crazy.
sick. Like, and my wife's like, "Why are you doing this?" I'm like, "I'm telling you, this is awesome." And
Yeah.
so,
this is gonna be.
and then all of a sudden technology started changing. There's a company called Team Black Sheep, TBS, and they started making long range video systems. 2016, we started having actual parts that we can buy and build.
Now you
and,
could make
and I'm
your-
importing them from China, and like I don't.
Yeah.
I would spend like $400 back then and not get anything for 6 months. Because like it was so niche and
Yeah.
and no one knew about it. And so I find, these parts, and we started building stuff, and I'm still talking to the guy, Steele Davis.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden drone racing starts.
Okay.
And there's very few of us.
Yeah.
Very few.
Very niche.
Which is interesting, because what I started doing is buying like the little toy grade drones, because now they're coming
Yeah.
out with those from like Sharper Image. And we were racing them in my apartment. All my buddies that I would have them buy them, and we would just not, we didn't have
This
goggles.
is just
This
like
is just line of
the
sight.
helicopter thing you did
Yeah,
as a kid. and
exactly.
fly
And
it,
we would
yeah.
make a track through the apartment, right?
And this is before drone racing is a thing. Like
This
you're
is
already
not a
racing.
thing. Exactly. So we started racing those. Like we were putting toothpicks on them so they made bumpers, and like we were getting crazy.
Dude.
And then all of a sudden, that's when I was like, man, we should do drone racing. And I wasn't the only one thinking that. All of a sudden, an organization happened, and it blew up. And believe it or not, Colorado is still one of the biggest drone racing chapters
Is it?
in the nation. Like it's huge. So we had some of the fastest pilots ever come out of Colorado. We still do. Yeah.
So, okay. So drone racing becomes a thing.
Becomes
So
a big
you can,
thing.
You can sign up for a race.
Yeah. And you got to build your own drones.
And you
So everything is custom built. Like I build them all. They're,
You don't just go on. I mean, nowadays you probably could buy.
You can now,
Like
Oh,
but this is all.
I wish
the racing stuff's got to be all custom.
I can't imagine where I would be if I had what we can get now. You know what I mean? Because
for
it's
sure.
taking me so long to get here.
Yeah.
Now kids can just get this stuff
High quality stuff.
and they're set.
price.
Right. So, that was the big thing for me, is like it was always building, breaking, racing. It's like crashing. You constantly
From cars to
You just
drones.
always do this with the drones too.
Yeah.
And like the thing is with the drone, they were getting fast, and we were starting to race at 100 miles an hour. These little drones are going, and they're about the size of a football. And when you're wearing goggles and you're racing with 8 guys, at this point, we have analog goggles.
You can buy a goggle set.
Now, when drone racing started becoming a big thing, there's a company called Fat Sharks. They started making analog goggles. We had the transmitters. Everything is now advanced, and we were able to race 8 people at once. The first sanctioned race I went to, I bought this drone parts and started building them, and then people were like, hey, there's drone racing in Erie, up in here by the tower, Dacono Tower. And I was like, absolutely, I got to check this out. And there was this not even Facebook group, there's this app. It was like Get Together or something like that, some weird app to get people to hang out.
Little communities.
Yeah, that was on there, and then we were meeting at this middle school, and there was like 8 of us, and then next thing you know, it started becoming big, and we did our first race. And when I took off the goggles, I'm not kidding you, I was shaking the same way I did in a rally car.
Well, I mean, it feels like you are the drone, because again, FPV, first person view, you are in there. It's like your windshield.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you've ever done VR, but if you've ever watched like VR and like the people like literally jump.
Yep.
And they
I actually
fall.
had a VR. That's how I got into YouTube and podcasting and things like that. I had a VR YouTube channel in college. We had the systems. This was before they were readily available for everybody. You had to have a really nice PC for it.
Sure.
And so we would do them for parties. We'd bring our whole VR set to a party for kids, and then do that thing where you put on the goggles and you walk off a plank and jump off a building. And
think about the same exact experience, but in a drone that can fly and go upside down and do 120 miles an hour, and you're going through gates. And it got so big that there was this big race called the World Race in Dubai.
Oh,
and the whole track moved. I think the track was like, it cost a couple $1 million for this track in Dubai, and a
Yeah.
bunch of pilots got invited to go.
did you go to that?
I did not go to that because you still had to pay for
Dubai.
to get out there, and it's not cheap. And it was this big thing. A bunch of our Colorado guys called Team Big Whoop.
Mhm.
Okay, Team Big Whoop went out there from Fort Collins,
Yeah.
and they all went out there and filming a Squid Games event
Oh yeah, like a local.
tomorrow. You know,
That's cool.
it is, but it's like till 2 a.m. and it's just like people partying.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Not
I don't
that
know.
anymore.
And my weekends are very valuable now.
Oh, dude, I'm with you there. Yeah, it like hurts to work on weekends now. Like,
Yeah,
like your body needs that
my
time
dad.
to rest.
I mean, we didn't for so long. We were always working weekends, you know?
Yeah, and you kind of have to when you're getting it off the ground and going.
Yeah. I mean, not working weekends is new this year.
Is it?
It's
Yeah. Geez.
the first year we're doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do we keep going and then just
What does the angle of this guy look like?
think it to
Maybe we just do a wide shot for a while because I'd hate to go back. Okay. What is the? Can you pull it up here just so I can see what this camera angle looks like if it's still, just so I can see? Oh, it's just on. So this doesn't see him at all. Ah, yeah. What do we do about that? Okay, I wasn't.
we just run again? It's up to you, buddy.
Yeah, what do you think?
I don't know how to edit this kind of stuff.
That's technology.
That's
how it goes. It's that.
experienced it.
I'm trying to think. We either start over fresh, or can you maybe just show us a couple clips of that where we were at, and then we can just kind of pick up from there and try to transition that. Just I can't remember how it went after that. What the progression?
Yeah,
was.
I think we were just talking about that and then went more into the actual rig phase
Mhm.
and how that started to grow.
Okay. Yeah. So so you started customizing them with
Monitors.
baby monitors. You had your own goggles. It'd give you vertigo, and then all of a sudden it
Yeah.
started to get more.
Where did it end at, you said?
Up like yeah. What was right before that? So
We were still talking about building them. Building the drones.
we were still talking about that. Okay, so we could probably just pick up from there.
I mean, we could pick up right from the baby monitor part too.
I think the editing's going to be.
I'm trying to think
super
of how
fun.
you would splice that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Oh yeah. No,
like,
we
I'll,
can.
I'll see like a YouTube channel and I'll watch people. I'm like, damn. I'm like, that's really good.
That's good. Yeah, you can respect the.
Yeah,
dramatic
oh,
end of that stuff
absolutely, man.
A
Like,
lot more.
production, like, even on our stuff just being so simple, like, I get why
You get it. Yeah.
video is so expensive, you know. Oh, they shook like wild. I know where we're at.
Okay, so they shook like wild.
I know where we are.
Okay, so
I weirdly have a memory for shit.
in the scene. All good.
Dude, while he's setting up, let's watch this for the first.
She killed it.
That's kind of fun.
She killed it.
We had some extra time at Bill's, and she went to work with me. She wanted to see what I do, so I brought her to two shoots yesterday. We only had 2 yesterday, so I brought her out. And
yeah, my son's 4 now, and he started to ask those questions like, what is your work?
Right?
You say you go to work all the time, but what is it?
You're right. What are you doing? Dude, that turned out pretty good. That's fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She wanted to do it. She's like, I want to be on TV. I'm like, let's do it. Oh, I got a horror story that happened to me.
Which one?
Where I lost 6 shoots in one day. Had to redo every single one. Oh, boy. Well, actually, one I wasn't able even to redo.
Because the timing had passed.
This is a nightmare, dude. I call it SD day because the SD card, and I call it SD day. I learned so much from that day that I changed my entire process. It did have to happen.
Yeah.
But 6 in one day? Like, just do shoot, man.
Brother.
Okay, so yeah, back then, it was super early on to where the drones were even built with RC airplane motors and the baby monitors, and they wobbled so much that it just made you sick, right? My wife was like, what are you doing? And it was interesting because every time you would take off the goggles, you literally would just kind of like get into like a dizzy state, right? And again, same thing to back when we were talking, it's that feeling of when your body is just like, you can't separate the real to non.
Yeah.
And so, that's when drone racing started to become like a very big thing for people, because once you did it, it felt so real. And early on, when I started racing drones, it was just a couple buddies and we had like little toy drones, and we're racing them around in the apartment. Yeah. We got to the point to where we're even like, hot gluing little toothpicks onto them to take each other out and dogfight and, race around. And
so you're racing drones before drone racing is even a thing.
Correct. Yeah. So
you're way ahead of the curve.
Yeah, we were. And, especially like for me, just trying to find the racing thing. And once I saw the video with FPV and drones started becoming toy grade, it was becoming a thing.
Yeah.
And then finally a sanction happened, and it became a real big organization. Well, I say big, nothing like F1, obviously.
But for something that had just been created.
There is companies that make motors, make the flight controllers, make the software to program them on the computer. So like, not only are you building them to the specs that you want, but you also have to tune them, very similar to a car, where you got to tune how they fly, like at a certain angle do they wobble. And so you're going through, and it's PID loops, and for all the nerds out there, it's PID looping. And so you're programming all of that.
And so coolest thing I've ever seen.
3, you guys ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, action.
All right, so in the early days, you're sitting there and like you're testing it out, and you're really starting to get a feel for if this is going to work, how it's going to look for real estate listings, and you're literally sitting there in a closet, take everybody out of the home. Yep. You've got your goggles on, you got your controller in your hand for your drone, and you're flying it through the house.
Yeah.
Going like chandeliers, in windows, out windows, through doors, through play sets.
Yeah, and again, like I was saying, like that was like the big thing is I wanted it to be different, to stand out.
Yeah.
Right. Because it's always been the same in real estate for a long time, where you have your photos, you have your guy with the camera that can do walkthroughs, and a lot of the times for the virtual tour sections, they would just do photos in a carousel with a little jingle, a little music in the background. And it's
not
been
really a walkthrough.
It's not a walkthrough, but they're calling it a walkthrough, right? Yeah. And that's been like that forever. And I don't have a background in real estate. And then I was renting. Yep. So, I would look at pictures on the internet or try to find a place to rent, and it was never appealing. So when I started thinking of this concept and I finally tried it out, and I saw the reaction of the agent.
It's like,
and
whoa,
then
this
also,
is something that has never been done. This is
exactly. And it was just this smaller ranch home in Arvada.
Yeah.
And it was wowing for me because I built this, I designed this, and it worked. Yes, I practiced at my apartment all the time.
Yeah.
This
is something you've been doing for years.
I've been doing it for years. I've been racing, and I get to play with my toys. And and I didn't even charge him on that first one because I didn't know what the heck it was going to turn out like, and I don't know how to edit. This was all new.
So new. Yeah.
And so,
well, yeah, just think about it this way. If someone's watching this, they could literally go into their neighborhood right now, click on a random home that's for sale, and there's probably a virtual tour section. And most likely it's going to be, like you said, a carousel of images, not even a video, or it might be an actual video walkthrough of someone holding a gimbal walking through the home.
Right.
But the difference here, just so that people can follow along, and I'll have B-roll and videos of what we've done together in the background for people to see while we're talking about it. But this is you with a drone that's custom made to do this. And you're flying it, you're starting up high, showing off, maybe the neighborhood or the mountain views, and then going from outside through the front door, inside the home, going around, the floor plan, going out a window, showing the backyard, coming back in the master bedroom window, flying around the upstairs, flying in and out of the house. I mean, this is so different. Anything that you would see.
Completely different.
Yeah.
And that was, that was the whole thing too, is I didn't want to have the editing done where it was cut in segments. Like I could do the fly-through and then we cut from the outdoor and then do a cut from the inside and then do a cut from the master and then, cut from the backyard or whatever it might be. And I realized that it would still just look like an edited video. Yep. So to even make it even more special,
one take.
I wanted to do it in one take.
Yeah.
So when I created this, that was my first number one goal, is I want it to be all shot in one take, one try.
One fly through.
One fly through, seamless. So here's the other trick to that, is the editing would be way easier.
Yeah, true.
Okay. And so no transitions, no smoke and magic, but also that wow factor is like, holy smokes. This camera is a drone because it never stops. Yeah. And so, like you said, we start way up high and I'd show, the creek in the back or the nice neighborhood, and start up high and then go into the front. And then once we go through the front, it's there. We just tour the house, but make it fun, right? Yeah. Go through the little cutout where the kitchen is.
And that's something that the normal virtual tours and a listing that agents paying for and using to market and sell the home that they can never have, that you have, is that you can show every highlight that a property has, the location, the neighborhood, the views, the renovations, the inside, the outside, the everything, all in a one take, no cuts, one video.
Exactly.
2 minutes long.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever. And as I've been doing this now for years that I've had the company, but getting the feedback of buyers buying unseen just from our video, out-of-state buyers just watching the video and being like, "That's the house."
That's the house.
Because I can show a 800 square foot condo in Denver to a 20,000 square foot home mansion in a 2-minute video,
and give the consumer everything they need to see and know
in 2 minutes.
In 2 minutes,
regardless of the size of the property, it's 1 minute to 2 minute video. We see it all: outdoor, indoor, sometimes basement. I've flown in wine cellars. Totally. Making it a unique process to show a listing has been my goal, and to do one take. And then that's where we got fun with it too, though. That's when I met Matt. He's with us every day at the listings. Matt very well. Yeah. He started coming up with ideas of, what if agents are in it? Yeah. What if, I pull up in a car and we follow the car in and then they greet the drone. And then all of a sudden we started.
What if the agent is down in the basement playing ping pong?
You got it.
That was one of the first ones we did.
That was one of our first
ones.
The
basement that I grew up in on my parents' house, you're flying through, and then all of a sudden you come in through the basement window, there I am with Matt. We're playing ping pong, and it's silly, it's fun, but it's showing off like, hey, this basement is for entertainment. This is where you can have a good time.
And that's when every year I start a new project for Cinefly that I'm going to work on for the next year. And that was one of them. It was getting agents involved, because you see all the time social media is growing, and agents are doing more and more and more. And that was my main goal that year, was to really get agents more involved. One, because it tailors the listing to you as the agent, saying, hey, look, this is what I do. But also you can then take this to your listing appointment and say, hey, this is the type of marketing I'm doing. And I have agents that swear by it, saying I win listings because I say I'm going to do this type of marketing. And
I'll touch on that. So when I first joined Remax Professionals, it was like 2 days before the big annual retreat that they do up in Vail. And you guys were there. Yeah. This is still early on for you guys too, but you guys were there doing a presentation. You flew through the mountains, you flew in and out of the building that we were in, and you turned it into a video and showed us. And I was like, with my marketing background, I was like, this is amazing. I will do this for every single listing that I ever have because one, this is something that's going to stand out, get more eyeballs on my listing and sell homes faster. This is good for my clients. This is good for my consumers. This is good for the people I work for.
Right.
And number two, this is something that it also is a marketing selling point for me to earn more business because this is a very unique feature that I can offer that other people won't. Right. And so I've used it on every single listing I've ever had.
Right. I remember that day specifically when you even said, I will use this at every listing. And I was like, yeah, Landon, let's do it.
Yeah, this new agent never closed the deal at the time, but I was ready for it.
Yeah, so. And that was kind of like the start of how Cinefly started becoming a thing and adding new things. And now we even do one take where I fly in and we catch the drone and the agent comes out talking and then we release the drone.
All the highlights.
And people are like, how the heck is this happening? Yeah. Because it's all one take. And it is that's also been kind of, Achilles heel that I've created because finding another pilot is very difficult.
That's tough. And you have to be there unless you can find someone who you can train to be.
I know. And that's been the hard part is finding another pilot that can do this type of flying because it is manual and it is hard. Yeah. But also just that has the confidence to be able to do a one take, right?
Totally.
And so that's been the challenge.
So let's go back really quick. So you started you were doing this in closets with still security camera.
Dude.
And then, so give me just briefly, like, where has it come since then?
Yeah. So
how's it doing? How's the growth been?
So
it seems like things are going great.
Back when I first started in 2019, that's officially when I rolled out Cinefly Films. And, I was still doing my normal job and I was doing probably one listing every other 2 to 3 weeks, one a month, and this is only I never advertised ever. Still haven't advertised ever.
Don't need to.
And that was word of mouth agents started picking it up, started kind of coming into the mix. And, all of a sudden, Rick, do you know Rick Police with Remax Pros?
Yep.
Well, Matt actually was an agent with Rick at one point. And Rick was like, hey, come to our office and do a little demo.
Yep.
And so I went to the office and flew the office real quick. And I was still doing my normal job too. So this is like, I was like, oh man, let's see what's going to happen with this. And after that, literally, we went to every single office.
Yep.
I don't know how that happened. I don't know if it was, Mike or Alan or who, but all of a sudden, we got invited to go to every single office. Yep. And once I did that, the phone just started ringing. Remax Pros is our biggest partnership that we film with. I at least have 2 Remax Pros agents a day.
Yeah.
And where we're at now, right?
Yeah. Out of how many do you usually have?
So we can go anywhere from 6 to 8 physically a day.
That's 6 to 8 different houses across the Denver metro area that you were traveling to, filming.
Yeah. And physically, I can do that. I can do more, but it's the drive.
It's too much.
You know how driving is. So
I do.
It's sometimes we're in Springs, and then we'll go to Pine, and then from Pine we'll go to Littleton, and then all the way to Longmont. So our days can be stretched. But I have a great team.
Yep. Yes, you do.
And that's been the part. So where we are now, we have 5K cameras. I have amazing editors. We're able to produce a video with audio and people in it. We just did a shoot yesterday. It was yesterday or the day before, where we actually filled an entire house full of people. And it was a team, it was a brokerage. Yeah. And they brought all the agents and we filled the house to make it how it is entertaining.
Yeah.
And how to host. And the agent comes out and greets us like we're like a party guest. And I fly in and, fly through the house while they're having cocktails and talking and really showing the listing to its potential, right? Yeah. And obviously this house was luxe. It was a beautiful home. But at the same time, it was able to, show the brokerage, the team, everybody there, and really highlight the listing. So now we're experimenting and doing even above and more. Yeah. But what we are now is not just video. We provide, we also do photography. We've been doing photography for years. And now our stuff has been in magazines. We've been, I have, a photographer, his name's James. Shout out to James. He's been with us for a while now, and he's been a photographer 20 plus years.
Yeah, he's great.
So, James kills it. I have an amazing editing team. So not only we do video, we do photography, but we do social media.
Yep. Floor plans.
We do the floor plans. We're Zillow Showcase certified. We were actually Zillow reached out to us. It was crazy.
No way.
Yeah, Zillow reached out to us and was like, "Hey, we have this new program coming out. I'd love for you guys to try it," because they saw that we were doing floor plans and we were the #1 floor plan company in Colorado in 2024, I think. 23. Wow. 23, we were like #1 for floor plans.
Holy.
I guess people never like told people you can do floor plans.
No, floor plans are
But
good.
I would always pitch that,
Wow.
and so we started doing floor plans and we blew up, and Zillow was like, "Hey, we have a new program coming out called Showcase. Do you want to be a part of it?" And I said, "Absolutely."
Yeah, we will.
Whatever's new and changing,
We're on it.
regardless if you might not like it, you got to try it.
You gotta.
Because it can be big and it's new. You got to try new things. And so we always pitch that with agents is like, try new stuff.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
You gotta be different.
Gotta be different.
We're in a day and age where there's a lot of, like, the average person knows 7 realtors.
Absolutely.
With varying experience
Right.
levels. And so you got to do something different. That's how I see it, is I've got to do something different to distinguish myself from the others.
Exactly.
I've got to have I've got to have a higher level of expertise, professionalism, and marketing.
Yeah.
And that's what Cinefly has been to me. And one thing that I think is amazing about it is when people are selling a home, it's very often a very sad thing or a special experience. It's a piece of their real estate history that has sheltered their family for years. So I've helped people like my grandma. She sold her home that she had custom built with my grandpa, lived there for 30 years. It was in Sedalia, had 13 acres, the best mountain views you'll ever see.
I love that house.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And now what is so cool is I've got a full Cinefly virtual drone fly through of the whole house, the acreage, everything. And I have that forever.
Right.
And I can show my kids, my grandkids, my grandma has it. Like, everyone can have that and just remember. So aside from the marketing and everything, it is a special piece of content.
Yeah.
It's invaluable.
Exactly. And one, to have you stand out from other agents, but also to have your house stand out from other houses. Exactly. Right now we're at not an all-time high, but we're at a high of inventory, 14,000 homes or something crazy right now in the Denver area. And so how are you going to make your house stand out from the one literally next door?
Exactly.
We see it all the time.
That's what I've been telling my sellers, Scott, because you've done 5 listings, 6 listings, 7 listings for me in the past couple of months during this down market where it is a buyer's market. It is hard for homes to sell and compete with the active inventory. So what you need to do is you need to do things differently. And that's what I tell my sellers, like, hey, listen, this is Cinefly. They are my go-to photographers for everything. Here's what they do. Here's why it's different. Here's why it's going to make your house stand out.
Correct.
What we need is eyeballs on your house.
Yes.
The more eyeballs, the more potential for showings. The more showings, the more potential for offers. The more offers, the more potential for money for you.
Exactly.
And so Cinefly is that. They give you more eyeballs, and not even just more eyeballs watching and looking through the virtual tours, the drone fly-throughs, but it's more engaged eyeballs, because someone who just sees another carousel image is going to flick through it. But someone who's like, "Wow, is that a drone flying in and out of windows through this home? What the heck?" And they watch the whole thing. And now they just saw every cool highlight and aspect of your home and your neighborhood. And that home is being marketed more efficiently than any other one.
Yeah. And to go back, that was one of the things that I practiced for a whole year that I wanted to make stand out, is offering the QR code and stuff like that, so that we could get out there in front of all the eyes, like you're saying. And also to kind of reel back to what you're saying with your grandparents' place and stuff like that. One of the big things that I wanted to do with Cinefly from early on was make it an experience. Okay. And so I don't want a lockbox from an agent. I mean, this happens all the time. It's not that I don't want it, but they're like, here's a lockbox, go shoot it. I never see the agent. Yeah. I never see the sellers. Like, that's not what I wanted. Yeah. Because I heard that, right? It's like, oh, here's the lockbox. I'm like, wait, why aren't you going to hang out?
Yeah.
See
what I do. Yeah.
Come see, not just that, but like come experience this, because then you'll get it and you'll see why we're doing it, right? And so that was one of the things that I really wanted. So I always invite the agent to stay with us. I think
and the sellers.
Probably 90% of my agents stay with us and meet us.
I'm there almost every time I can be. I'm there.
I think you've missed one since I've known you.
And the sellers,
because you couldn't. You're having a baby.
Yeah, that's true. The best part is hunkering down in the garage. You got your full setup and the remote and everything, and you're going through and sitting there with the sellers with the video live camera watching you do what you do.
Right.
That moment is incredible.
Right. And so what Landon's saying is I actually bring an iPad and we tether it to my goggles so that the sellers and viewers can watch live.
Yeah.
And you don't know how many times I've had sellers emotional watching it live because they just busted their butt cleaning the house for 2 months, getting it ready to sell. And sometimes you're right. It's not a pleasant reason why they're leaving. And sometimes it's a good thing, right? They're moving to upgrade their home, or maybe they're following their kids to college. So, sometimes there is an emotional attachment to real estate, always. Usually always.
Good or bad.
Good or bad, right? And so having the seller there has been such a great experience because they get to see their home and all their hard work and memories. Yeah. And we film it right then and there live. And
you see it, you watch it through again once it's finished.
Sometimes they see me bump into a tree or something, and that's fun. They laugh, So it's part of the point of making an experience, and it makes you as the agent feel like a king, right? They're like, this guy did this for us, right? And so actually one of your listings, we did one, and I don't think it was a good situation while they were selling the home, but she was crying. She's like, this is the best I've felt in a long time. Yeah. And that stuck to me. It was one of yours. We could talk off camera on which one it was, but she was so excited. She was like, this is the best I've felt in a while. And I was like, wow, man,
how special
that's cool. I get to make these memories.
It's so much more than, summarizing this, cineflying this video fly through, it sells homes. It really does. It highlights homes in a way that no one else can. And there's such a barrier to entry because you got to be a pro pilot to do this. People can't mimic it. Right. So it has that benefit of, hey, your home will sell. Your home will get more views. Your home will get more. This is top tier, the best marketing that we can do. Right. But at the same time, this is a special thing, a special piece of content that the seller, the owner of the home, can enjoy forever. There's so many benefits to it. I love it. I think it is an incredible service.
Yeah, thanks, man.
We might have to do a follow-up episode just due to time constraints.
Yeah, no doubt.
We gotta start wrapping up with the final segment here. But
good. That's a good segue.
Yep.
3, 2, 1, action.
So, anyways, this has been an absolutely phenomenal episode. Starting from, racing cars as a 16, 17-year-old, baby monitors, drone racing, real estate, the huge impact that you've had everywhere and on my listings in my career too. Fantastic. So we'll go ahead and we'll wrap this segment. We will wrap up this episode with this last segment, which is my favorite segment, the Houses of Horrors.
Cool.
Where I'll give a kind of a nightmare crazy story that I've experienced in the industry, and then I'd love to hear one from you, and then we'll call it a day. So like I teased at the beginning, this is a story about how I wound up in court after selling a half-built house on 5 acres. So I was approached at the time by a builder I partner with, and he's like, hey, man, I've got this really weird situation where there's this home. It's halfway completed. It's in frame, completely open to the elements. And there's these 2 people trying to sell it, and they're in a very kind of crazy divorce situation, and it's messy. Do you want to come out and see if you can help these guys and be a part of this? And so I was like, sure. So I went out, and it's this beautiful 5-acre lot, mountain views, big pine trees, awesome spot. But there's just this half-finished home, and what had happened is these folks had purchased it thinking that they were going to basically demo the home that was built there in the 70s and put a brand new custom home on it, and then things went sour with the relationship, and it went really sour really fast. So it's funny because we actually had you out there, and we got a couple times because
2 or
when
3,
we started, we got the drone fly through of the acreage and the house, and we showed off the potential of what it was going to be and how we could buy this project, and then you'll build it out to however you want. It's an awesome piece. That was kind of the marketing piece of it and how we were trying to position it, but ended up being a very long process. They ended up continuing finishing it, so it was just better looking to sell, and that's when we had you out again.
Because we came out again, and I remember the bottom was still there, the top was stick in frame.
It was crazy.
And you had a render though of what it was going to be.
Yes, to show here's what it will be.
That's right.
And so it was about an 8 to 10 month process from the time that we listed it to the time that we actually closed it. Yeah. But it did not end when it closed because again, it was a very messy situation with those individuals and the divorce that was in play, and there was a lawsuit and everything. And so I actually received a subpoena to be a witness. and go to court. So I go to court. I'm in front of a judge.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was a crazy thing. So I'm in front of a judge sitting there, and I'm in a courtroom, and the lawyer's just asking me, like, what was your experience? What happened?
Oh, wow.
You know, all these things. And so I had to kind of go over everything that I'd been through in the last it was quite a while after, but that 10-month period. And yeah, so I had to testify in court for one of the parties involved against the other. And it was totally
That's
wild. Hard. Not what I expected to happen, but it ended up working out. And it was a good experience.
I'm sure you're still like super nervous being on the stand, doing the whole thing. Like never thought you'd be there.
I mean, you look over and the judge is just up there above you. It's really intimidating. I did not expect to.
Even though you have no skin in the game, it's still just intense.
Yeah, it is intense. So it was crazy. But it ended up working out for that individual, and it was wild. So anyways, what do you got? Let's hear what you got.
Yeah, man. So we're pretty lucky. We film really nice homes. Remax Pros has been really great to us.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is more of like a cul-de-sac horror story. Yeah. So we're up north, and there's not a lot of homes, so it's not like a super suburb area. And we're filming this house with another Remax Pros agent. He's awesome, and we're diving in to fly the house.
Yep.
And I go to start. I always do a walkthrough to plan where I'm going to fly, and that way I can just memorize where I'm going to fly. And while I'm walking, I start noticing, like, across the cul-de-sac on the other side, there's a woman out there, like, just like kind of snooping around, looking around, and she has her kids, and she's telling them to run inside. Oh, no. And I'm like, oh man, I just got that feeling, like that vibe, you know? And we're sitting there, and I didn't fly yet because I was already planning where I'm going to dive in and everything. And that's when I started noticing her. And then the agent, he was like, hey, are we ready? Are we ready to get going? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And my photographer was already done. And then all of a sudden, Matt flies the aerial drone to do the aerial photography, right? Because we also do that. And that's a whole different drone. They're not custom. They're like more of your commercial grade one. And we go to put the drone up, and this lady just grabs the hose, and she's just like spraying water at the drone.
While she sees you guys right there.
Yeah, and she's like, and these drones are not cheap.
No.
Especially the commercial grade ones, right?
Yeah.
Like I can build these somewhat cheap, but the other ones are, in the thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
And so she's just spraying the drone, trying to get it to come down. She's freaking out, yelling and screaming. Dude. All of a sudden, this is where, like, for me, I'm like, wow, this is starting to turn into a thing.
Yeah.
The agent comes running out and just pops off on her, like, get inside. Like, what are you doing? Like, that's illegal. Because it is a federal offense. If you take down a drone, if you take down a drone legally, if you take down a drone, it is classified as a felony because you are taking out an airspace aircraft.
Yeah, because you have to be licensed to even fly those.
Correct.
You have to be licensed.
Yeah, so we have the Part 107 license to fly these commercially. And regardless, if you take out any aircraft and you hear people shoot the drone down, if you do that, you are going to jail. There's like no questions asked because they treat a drone as if it was a Boeing 747.
Yeah.
And it's kind of crazy because it's not.
It's not.
But
it could do damage. That could hurt someone. If
it can.
Down. Totally.
But the laws are the exact same.
Wow.
Which is pretty wild. No one knows that. So, the agent keeps like popping off on her. They're exchanging words with each other. I'm sitting outside like, what am I supposed to do? And again, we're on a time basis. Like I got to fit 6 homes in a day sometimes. And, we're way up north. I'm like, we only have a certain amount of time to get this shoot done.
Yeah.
And so, agents popping off, they're exchanging words. He's on the sidewalk. She's saying, get off my property. I'm calling the cops. Like, you're doing illegal stuff. You can't be spying on us. We're filming the house. It goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. We end up finally getting her to like go inside, and she's still spraying the hose. Like she's just like talking and just flinging water, and it's turning into a whole thing. So she finally goes inside. We complete the shoot. The agent is so awesome. Like we work with him a lot. I think you know who he is.
Yeah, I do.
We work with him a lot, and he always has our back. And he did. Like I didn't even have to exchange words. Like he told them all covered, dude.
Yeah.
And like to this day, I'm like, yo, dude. Like he was there for us, and it worked out. Like no cops were called. It worked out. We filmed the house. We got out and we were done. So, but other than that, we've been pretty lucky. We have gone into homes where they're doing a full kitchen remodel. And it's not done. It's like still, and we're like,
you sure you want us to film
but
this?
I'm not kidding you. They got that kitchen done by the time we were ready to film. it blew my mind, man. It was like a TV show. We walked in and stove is out, backsplash is off, and they had that thing puttied up, done. And I told that agent, I was like, yo, that's crazy. You know her too. But yeah, it was amazing. So other than that though, man, like a couple dirty homes, you know, we've gone into that,
I'm sure
you know,
you've seen that.
some sticky countertops and, you know, some things where I don't want to put my computer down and stuff like that. But, you know, equipment failure, those are horror stories.
Hitting a tree.
Hitting trees. Happened. We've crashed a couple times. We had a hawk take out a drone.
Dude.
Destroyed a, you know, $2,000 drone. Hawk just took it out of the air. It fell from like 300 feet up and just killed the drone. But luckily we've been pretty good, man. We haven't, and you know, I started in 2019, started the company, and we're here now, and
killing it.
You know, we're already at like 1,000 something homes this year from January. So it's
already at 1,000.
Yeah, man. Wow, yeah, it's pretty wild. About six a day since January.
It's incredible, and there's a reason, because I mean, it is an incredible service that. It can't be copied. It can't be mimicked. It's something that sells homes. It truly does, and it's something that is special for the clients. For
appreciate
the
it. Yeah, appreciate it.
It's amazing. So, well, Alex, I mean, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate it, man.
Awesome to go through these things with you. And again, just a quick plug for Realty TV. Subscribe, follow, comment, whatever you got. We got a lot of cool pods coming up.
Yeah, I'm excited to see
inspectors,
them.
contractors, more real estate professionals, investors, everything you need to know in the real estate industry. We're going over it. So and a lot more horror stories too as we get going on this.
I believe
That's
it.
the fun part.
We do I guess people never like told people you can do floor plans.
No, floor plans are like,
and gotta be different.
There's a lot of I've got to have a different high level of